I can't believe it. I really can't believe it. We actually have a game, guys. After another awesome break. And I think we have one more of these waiting times till then finally every team set up their PCs, their programs, whatever we are always waiting for. The fact is, we are HeflaTV. My name is HeflaMog. With me is Casting Grandis. You are watching here the Brazil game show INTZ Gaming versus NoT today. We saw already two matches of this tournament. The LAN, a huge LAN for 25,000 prize pool. Yes, US dollars prize pool in Brazil. And well, the outcome was very unexpected. I mean, THD lost, and we had also, I don't know, the previous game was interesting to say the least. Either way, guys, we are hopping directly into the draft and hope then that the following games will be faster.
For sure, and that would be wonderful. The first bans coming out from either of these teams, Brewmaster, Terrorblade, Scarlet Mage, and Razor, not going to see the light of day, at least this game. And we are going to see Death Prophet, first picked up by NoT today. Nothing too unconventional to start things off. But yeah, the previous series, definitely a little bit of an upset, or at least that's what the bettors thought. They played pretty much a perfect game. I mean, it wasn't without mistakes, but they executed incredibly well, especially compared to what NoT today thought they would, or at least that's how the draft felt. Like, it felt like NoT today just decided that, okay, we can play super greedy and play whatever we want, and we can still win this game, and they were mistaken. I think the stable draft wins. Viper is going to snag that up as their first hero, presumably going to be their mech carrier. Still, pretty standard stuff coming out from these first two heroes.
Yep, absolutely. And well, we have a new pick. The Death Prophet actually made it through. We haven't seen Death Prophet so far, but Jesus Christ, this hero is one of the best and strongest still in 6.82. I actually thought maybe something's gonna change around the Death Prophet, but not really. In 6.82, very, very strong. The stats are climbing for this hero. The win rate is just incredible. On the other side, we have Viper. Nothing really changed with Viper, just some small changes in 6.82 with the corrosive skin. Jakiro pretty much the same. And that being said, now we have two pushers on one side for NoT today. Jakiro being a potential pusher, especially from very early on, since Liquid Fire doesn't cost anything and he can just spam it on the enemy hero just to drive them out, or on the tower. And of course with Viper we have a tanky core, which is very interesting. So let's see where this is going. NoT today going full push.
Potentially. With the exception of the Terrorblade ban, it feels almost exactly like 6.81. Maybe a little bit of changes, but honestly both of these two picks wouldn't be amiss in the previous patch. Jakiro's a little bit unconventional, but even then you can just go all into the push if you want to, or maybe they consider just leaving it as a support. Ice Path is still a great spell. Liquid Fire can take those tier 1 towers down, even if you don't fully commit to the pushing style lineup. Faceless Void would probably be one of their first picks, but I expect that to be banned.
Yep, absolutely. And well, we go in the second ban stage, and let's see. Initiation is getting banned out with the Batrider in the first place, and let's see. Okay, that one is very interesting. The Drow being banned out, like a second core for NoT today. They don't want to have this. I guess it would have been amazing. I mean, so far two ranged heroes benefiting very much from that aura. A Visage support could have been there, but I don't know if that's really like a good guess. But then again, INTZ might be prepared for NoT today. I mean, NoT today, I said it earlier already, those guys, they shine as of late with a decent performance. So maybe they started them, and I actually can't recall NoT today games with Drow, but maybe they know more than I do.
I suppose so. With the Batrider ban, that would have been a really good hero to jump in the face of the Drow, and Jakiro and Viper aren't the best at, I don't know, doing that and stopping Drow Ranger from getting her damage off and keeping that aura up. And with Death Prophet as well as Nature's Prophet, there would be a lot of pushing power. And they're also going to ban out the Venge and then snag up the Ogre very quickly. Going to offer a really nice stun to set up for Jakiro Ice Pass. That duo can definitely roam around fairly early on. If they don't go aggressive with this Ogre Magi, however, it feels like they could have gone for something akin to the Earthshaker or maybe even the Sand King if they really want to play it passively instead, as both of those heroes are available.
Yep, and I'm just looking through the stats of the NoT today games, like the last 5 that were pretty much in October, and like it's very interesting that those guys, they have a very versatile draft. Like, I mean, the carries, they swap from, I mean, they picked TB a lot, they picked Mordred, they picked Spectre, TA a lot, like Death Prophet whenever they got it through, like actually multiple times Mordred. That's interesting to see a PA that often, but yeah, like their drafts, they're so versatile, so that is maybe the key to success at the moment. And I mean, they did quite okay. I mean, they won against Navi US, for example, once, and also against the other teams they did quite okay-ish. But let's see how they do in this tournament here. I mean, we have Orcra Magi. That's not the first time we see him today. And in other matches we saw also a lot of Orcras. The good thing about this hero, besides of course his stun and the ignite harass and of course buffing all the other heroes, is simply the fact that he comes with so much base armor. Like we saw it today, like 2 heroes right clicking that Orcra at like the very beginning of the game. It didn't even make a dent. It's ridiculous, a hero that comes with such a base armor.
Yeah, especially when you consider that he has pretty much a free ring of regen built into the hero, and so he can trade incredibly effectively, despite being melee. Wind Ranger, the next pickup for NoT today. Ooh, I'm still kind of on the fence on with Wind Ranger. Like, in the right hands, it can be a wonderful pick, but unless you have an amazingly skilled player, Wind Ranger just feels kind of lackluster. The pushing power is nice, but then again, if your shackle shots aren't on point, rather, the Wind Ranger pick probably could have been something else.
Yep, absolutely. Wind Ranger. Oh, that's interesting to say the least. I didn't see this one coming, and I don't see how it fits at the moment. The only good thing I can see is obviously there is a synergy between Nature's Prophet and Windrunner, because you can get your 100% shackles with the Sprout shackle combination. That's pretty much it. Like, if you do it right in the last second of the Sprout, you have another full duration shackle that's coming out there. For INTZ, I kind of like a heavy core. I mean, a Viper is a cool thing, but obviously with another toxin you are scaling not so well when it comes to the initial damage. It gets then always higher the lower the other heroes get. But the problem is you have Death Prophet, someone who's healing up very fast. You have the Wind Ranger, who is very elusive. And I don't know, a Puck, if he does add enough damage to this, that's a good question. Right now we have a lot of magical damage coming out for INTZ, but I feel we need one source of physical at the 5th pick.
For sure. Before seeing the Puck, I would have liked to see an assassin on either side of this game, as a lot of these heroes are fairly prone to being assassinated as they're rotating around the map, especially the Nature's Prophet, Wind Ranger even. I believe this is going to be a support Wind Ranger for NoT today. Can benefit very heavily from the chilling touch of the Ancient Apparition as well, just harassing from range very effectively. And then also, whether or not you give the Wind Ranger core farm, doesn't matter if you're relying on her for the shackles as well as power shot. Although Wind Ranger, if you give her a lot of room, can transition fairly well into the mid-late game, akin to the scaling of a Mirana. But then again, I'm not sure we're going to see that. Yeah, Spectre the last ban from INTZ, expecting NoT today to just go incredibly greedy with that 5th pick.
Yep, Ancient Apparition coming out, and to be honest, if I see like heroes like Ogre Magi and Puck and Chikiro coming with not too much HP, it's quite interesting, to be honest. I think that Ancient Apparition with the right Ice Blast and then the damage that's coming, I mean, we have a Power Shot, we have maybe a Wrath of Nature getting heroes that are not even there in range. Of course, Exorcism swirling around plus Crypt Swarm, like, it can get those heroes quite fast into shatter range, and especially the Puck. I'm worried about the Puck if he gets hit by an Ice Blast. But now it's on InSport to surprise me. Like, I want to see a real physical, proper, hardcore carry. And the funny thing is, I actually expected a Spectre, but they banned it, and now they pick a Mirana, and that just adds up to what I already said, like, quite squishy heroes apart from the Viper. So give this a proper Ice Blast, and then all the ultimates on top of it. I just don't see it happening in like a huge clash fight.
NoT today could go incredibly greedy with this last pick, and they'll go instead for the Faceless Void. I don't think that's super greedy, but it's going to scale incredibly well late, works well with the Ancient Apparition, setting up for Wind Ranger power shots as well as the shackle shots, and just being able to do so much damage with the Exorcism. NoT today's lineup just looks a lot more all around better. Like it's more well rounded. They have the damage. They scale well at most portions of the game. Early game, their tri lane's pretty strong, and all of these lanes should work out decently well. The mid lane might be problematic up against the Viper, but even then, Death Prophet can still spam out the waves and get something out of it without dying.
Yep, absolutely. Faceless Void, I don't know, it makes it worse. So Not Today definitely gets my thumbs up simply for, yeah, having the better draft, in my opinion. But we got surprised today twice already by the drafts looking relatively equal or sometimes favoring just one team, but still they managed to get it through, and always sort of the unexpected team. So let's see what we got here. I'm gonna introduce, I don't know, I'll take Not Today today. We have Evo IWO on the Faceless Void here in the safe lane, followed by, of course, Mystico on the Windrunner, Masoko playing the Ancient Apparition. In mid we're gonna have Smash playing the Death Prophet, and he's playing a good Death Prophet. I remember this one, and oh, maybe we have a go already on the Faceless Void. There's a stun, there's an arrow as a follow-up. Before he can get the time walk through, all this damage is coming out. It is enough. It is enough for our first blood. We have it right here. That 5-man gank train of Ints worked out, and that being said, I introduced the last one. It's Mihawk on the Nature's Prophet. He's probably gonna say like, oh, why you feed? Either way, let's look on the inside.
Yeah, an incredibly well-executed gank coming out from them to start things off. The Mirana, the one shooting the arrow, is played by ACC. I have no idea what that stands for. Fuzzy going to be playing on the puck, and our Viper is going to be handled by King RD or Dota. We are going to have these playing on the Deeks, maybe, on the Ogre Magi, and then our last support, or rather, who have I missed?
Yeah, Sono on the Chakiro, who's hiding at
There
the
we go.
moment here in
Yeah.
the Chakiro pit. The Chakiro pit. The Chakiro pit. Oh god. Hefla, go home. Go home. You're drunk. In the Vorosh pit. Either way, we are there. The runes are getting picked up. It is a haste run on the Ogre Magi. That's quite a dangerous thing to happen. And the bounty rune goes to the Viper. So having a good start there as well for the farming Viper, obviously, plus the good start they already had with the first blood. So Ints can't complain. This is already their game for the start. And now we have to see if Not Today says like, okay, you might have gotten this like small advantage, and we take it all back now by laning.
Yeah, I would have liked to see them sit on that Ogre Magi pace rune a little bit longer. They start off with the Fire Blast fall, but the Liquid Fire Air is going to land instead on a Misco. But Misco might just die here. The right clicks, are they going to be enough? There is Windrun. She will skilled as they go into Deeks. Deeks is going to be bashed down by the Faceless Void, getting that last hit. And now Misco on the sidelines is going to survive with very little HP. They're not able to seal the deal. And now Sono too low to go for much more as Misco shows his face again. The Liquid Fire is going to tag him. I don't think it's enough damage because he's tangling up. Another arrow lands into Misoku, but it's not going to lead into any kills. Not today, tying up the kill score 1-1, and going to make up for the fact that they got first blooded, and now completely tying up the net worth as well as experience charts.
Yep, absolutely. Like that was just amazing how the Windrunner actually played with her HP. She was like, yeah guys, no problem, I got 100 HP, but I still got my Windrun, and that being used like there was nothing they can do, especially because the Chakira got 1 point in dual breath instead of the Liquid Fire. With the Liquid Fire, sure, they would not have that slow, but they would have gotten the Windrunner kill simply because, yeah, the range of Liquid Fire are relatively low, but they were next to each other and they just needed that tiny little damage. I think it was about 60 damage overall missing after the dual breath. But yeah, that all would not have happened. 1-1, 2 minutes in. The next runes are spawning, but at the moment, and that's quite surprising compared to other games, we have no one rushing for the runes. Okay, never mind that. The Windrunner actually is going to secure that bounty rune on top. That's our illusion rune, and it's going to be, yep, for Smash, but he does not have a bottle yet.
Which is unfortunate. Still, Illusion Rune going to help his laning a little bit. Has a Tango to stay in lane up against the Puck. But currently Puck having quite a good time in this middle lane versus the Death Prophet 9-4 compared to the 5-5 Death Prophet. Death Prophet by no means getting shut down. Once she has that battle, it'll be a lot better for her. But at least at the early portions of the game, Fuzzy's having a pretty nice time. The other lane, Nature's Prophet versus Viper. Nature's Prophet can do very little, but TP should keep him safe. Although now he doesn't have enough mana for it. Once he does, he can farm pretty effectively, and if worst comes to worst, he'll be able to get back to base. Most of our action should be isolated in the bottom lane, and currently it's Ints getting the better half of it, but that might change at a moment's notice. We'll see.
And the most interesting part, and that I think that is something I completely missed at least, it is a farming Chikiro. It is actually a farming Chikiro for early aggression. It feels a bit like 6.81, but yeah. farming Chikira, roaming Mirana, and a backup Augur in the background who's actually almost staying out of experience range here even, so that the Chikira gets proper levels up. So it's a very interesting setup for INTZ. I mean, they had a good start, but I'm not sure if that Shakiro is actually gonna be able to sort of outpush it, especially if on the other side there's an Exorcism waiting. The only thing I can really imagine with this setup is that they can make a lot of things happen by slow push, but then again 6.82 it's not a very slow push friendly patch as such, especially because not today, the longer you siege a certain... Oh wait, they go for the Chikira here. There's slowed, double slowed, even by the Ice Vortex. Now the right clicks are coming in as well as the Nature's Prophet. They have a Sprout if they need to, but they don't even need it. Mihawk is gonna get that last hit.
Yeah, gives a little bit of room to the Viper, but definitely worthwhile to come down there, especially since that is their farming core in the bottom lane. I didn't expect them to run it this way. The Mirana and the Ogre haven't been able to roam very effectively outside of the First Blood. They've accomplished very little to nothing. Another Haste Rune going to be in the hands of Deeks now. We'll make up for the fact that he's not running with his boots, but now they might be able to find a kill. It hasn't been spotted out by any wards coming out from Radiant as they were dewarded. So he might catch the Death Prophet off by surprise, currently inside the Fog of War. If Smash comes up a little too far, he might die. If he goes down to the low ground, and maybe not even, the Fire Blast comes out, but there's no follow-up. Deeks just kind of goes in there Rambo style. The arrow misses. There's no way that that can actually land.
Yep. And you know what worries me the most? They can replicate that kill on the Jakiro. And as I say that, it latches actually. He's slowed. And well, this time, again, enough mana for the Sprout, but they don't need it. They just get another kill that just replicated what they had before. And it's... To be honest, I just don't see this working. This farm and Shakira without the backup and the... I don't know, on the lane, it just doesn't work out. When they try to roam, find something here and there, but it's not gonna happen. Now they're forced to come back on lane, but Zono, he's just, yeah, a really sad dragon.
Yeah, I mean, what's there to do for the Jakiro right now? Like, a farming Jakiro really wants to put some pressure on the lane, but the equilibrium changes in the offlane are actually going to hurt the Jakiro more than they're helping, to be honest. Like, he's never going to see this 2-1 tower, and he's not going to be able to get enough levels in order to actually put some hurt into it. If they're forced to keep these supports with the Jakiro, they're going to accomplish nothing. And then again, if they roam, the Jakiro's just going to die. It's not a very comfortable situation. INTZ are going to have to make the hard decision, and right now, that decision is to keep the Ogre behind the Jakiro. Deeks isn't doing much but offering that Fire Blast support, but without the Ogre roaming, it doesn't actually matter for not today. They will land an arrow on the Smash. The Shackle doesn't latch, but it's enough to keep them away from Smash, and Smash is going to survive. 6-minute rune also going to be secured by him, and he's going to have that full bottle as well as the bounty rune.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, now that the support's actually left that lane, so that gives some space to the Shakiro, but the Faceless Void is already like, I don't care, I just club you down, that's pretty much it. Interesting about the mid is the fact that the Puck is finding so much CS, a lot of CS, like almost double as Smash, but Smash is like the king of harass. Like, he really harassed that Puck to the limit. Now let's see what's coming, because now he's actually catching up in CS, and he pretty much turns the tide on that mid lane. So far it was Puck's, yeah, area, territory, however you want to call it, but now it's all getting turned around. That's bad news for Fussy as well, because the only lane that's really left where they do a good job, it's the Viper lane, but the Viper alone can't carry a game.
No, he can't. He's going for Power Treads as well as the Basilius currently on the Viper. He's going to have good farm, presumably going towards the Mechanism next. But he's not going to be able to hit very hard. Death Prophet is going to be doing a lot of damage, as is the Nature's Prophet, as is the Faceless Void, and even their supports in the Wind Ranger as well as the Ancient Apparition all contribute something to the team fights. Right now, I'm not seeing the same amount from INTZ. They might be able to get the arrow off from the Mirana, they might be able to get a Fire Blast from the Ogre, but where's the follow-up damage actually going to come from? Puck might build into a Dagon eventually and potentially could look for some kills, but that's also not going to scale incredibly well. Even on even footing, through the most portion of this game, NoT today are going to be incredibly comfortable.
Yeah, and I also don't like the Jakiro build at the moment with 2 points in dual breath. I mean, I obviously know that he wants to go for damage and whatnot, but the biggest problem is we have seen so many nice setups with the Ice Path, even just the level 1 Ice Path. Like, I mean, Fire Blast into Ice Path into Arrow, that buys you enough time to even lock down a Void properly, but Dual Breath, level 2 Liquid Fire, and nothing he can use it on except for the Void if he shows in lane. But that Void he already got enough, like, I mean, that was the goal for Not Today, getting him level 6, which he is pretty much next creep wave, and that's it. From there on he can just grab a TP, go anywhere, and whatever lane they go to, it will pretty much be a kill with that Chronosphere. And not to mention, we talked about the Ice Blast and the Ancient Apparition. Usually it's a very experienced and CS starved hero. They gave him the offlane now that the tier 1 tower fell, and he is level 6 with that creep. Never mind with the next one.
Yeah, barely under that level 6 threshold, but once he has it, Ancient Apparition going to be doing a lot. If that lands onto 2+ heroes inside a team fight, it's pretty much a one team fight for Not Today, especially if they get a Chronosphere on the same amount. You can sort of go about playing the Ancient Apparition two ways. You can start it with the Chronosphere and then follow up with the Ice Blast to ensure that it hits, or you can look for the Ice Blast and then follow up with the Chronosphere if it's a good Ice Blast. And either way, it's going to be pretty easy, and for now, they're going to start off with the Ice Blast, sending it down towards bottom, and it looks like it's going to land squarely onto 2 Sono as well as Deeks. Now with the Nature's Prophet ultimate, they're almost already dead. They're looking for a little bit more damage. Evo's taking a lot in return as Fire Blast does come through. Currently 1-for-0 trade. His Faceless Void time walks away.
Yeah, that was... Yeah, it's bad news for INTZ. Like, if that Shakira would have lived another second to get Liquid Fire and Dual Breath off, as well as the level 2 Ignite off the Ogre, there might have been enough damage over time to actually, yeah, do the trick on the Void, make it a 1-1 trade. But oh, in the mid, there's the Dream Call here, and a rainbow of rotations. Arrow hitting on Smash, that's of course bad news. The Shakira is also in there. Nice little Ice Blast on 2, that's gonna be the death of the puck. But, oh, is it? Yes, it actually is. But Windrunner, that's also bad news. No Wind Run, and of course Dudu makes it Dudu.
Absolutely, the Shackle did latch, but it's only a level 1 Shackle, and it's not long enough for them to secure those kills, and suddenly INTZ are going to find themselves in a great position this game, giving a lot of room now to the Jakiro Viper, and now they're going to get that uptime on that tier 1 tower with the Liquid Fire as well. And this graph, excuse me, if you take a look at it, it's only 10 minutes in, but it's already looking like an EKG, up and down, getting a little bit of the beyond the summit action going on with the hills and valleys that are forming. Tier 1 tower is going to fall and give a little bit of an advantage wave INTZ. Ancient Apparition Ice Blast going to land through, as well as a Crypt Storm onto 2, doing quite a bit of damage to Dudu, as well as to ACC, but they will be able to back off without any fights actually breaking out.
Oh, and look at Mihawk, like, equipped with PTs and a Null Talisman. He's actually going full rage on Fuzzy here, and obviously I already said it, especially if he uses in PTs, he doesn't have to offer much, 700 HP, and the right clicks, it hurt him so much. Either way, so it is, in the end, I mean, a horrible fight for Not Today, but it's not the end of the world, but it ends up in a tier 1 tower, but since Nature's Prophet is there, they make it a trade, and now with Smash pressuring the mid, it might even be a 2-for-1, considering everything. The Shackle's gonna latch, but yeah, he leaped before, and yeah, he's out, I think.
Fire Blast on a Mystico, he's blown up by the puck. Ancient Apparition Ice Blast only lands onto Deeks. So Wind Ranger for tier 1 tower, still pretty good for Not Today, although not losing the Wind Ranger is definitely more preferable.
Oh, but they want to go on the Jakiro here. Look at it, slow, there's the Sprout, and the rest is... Oh, never mind, he ate through it really fast, but yeah, they used the Chronosphere just to make sure. I don't even think they needed it, I think they could have still followed up, maybe a lucky bash, but never mind that, it's all good. Chronosphere for a kill, it's definitely worth it, but also a kill might happen here. Top line, Ancient Apparition can't really do anything, stun into Arrow, yeah, easy kill. The rest is just right clicks. Masuko doesn't even get a spell off.
Yep. It is going to be Mask of Madness for the Void, so those kills are going to come a lot easier when he has the Chronosphere available. So yeah, it is going to be all across the map a 1-for-1 trade, 6-6 our kill score, 1 kill a minute. Can't really ask for much more. It's currently anybody's game, although still, I'm going to say that Not Today are favored just by the nature of their heroes. Still, Vipers had a great time, Mechanism now completed. And so let's see if they're going to be able to turn this Mechanism into some more pressure onto the tier 1s and eventually tier 2s.
Look at this, bottom lane Fuzzy sees Masuko. Masuko, what are you doing here? He's on a voting mission, but now he is silenced and he is dead, and I don't think they're gonna do anything. But yep, the Mirana found Mihawk, but the arrow is not gonna land. That was an arrow inside a truck and he didn't manage to hit it. That was interesting, to be honest. Either way, and that opens the tier 1 tower here, like uncontested. I think not today. Give this tower away. Very willingly. They know they can't defend it.
Yeah, pretty much. This is the strength of the core Jakiro. This is the best time, but currently in mid, Mystico as well as Mihawk are putting some pressure on the tier 2 there. So I'm not sure that INTZ can actually go for much more than this tier 1, but the tier 1 tower should fall. It might be denied, however. It is currently a deny range. They're looking for the Viper damage, and now the arrow! Ewo clipped by that one, now held in place. The tick damage is enough. He can't go anywhere. Perfectly placed arrow.
That was a rookie mistake. Absolutely rookie mistake. Like, TPing in front of a tower when he knows that, like, somewhere behind the Jakiro is a Viper and the Mirana. I mean, okay, maybe he wasn't 100% sure about the Mirana, but just the possibility that there's an arrow flying directly on your TP if properly timed, and yeah, he did time it very well, so that is a rookie kill whatsoever. Oh, nice Ice Blast attempt, but it didn't hit Fuzzy. Still, Fuzzy, look at it. He doesn't have to offer much, and if he comes out of that orb, he's dead. Exactly that. Even the Orca can't do anything. Maybe they follow the Orca? No. They used the Mirana ultimate just for not much, to be honest, because there's nothing else to accomplish with that.
Sono is invised up. 4-0-4 is going to be built for Sono, no points in ulti, no points in Ice Path. Not a huge fan of this build. I would have liked to see at least 1 point in Ice Path at the very least. But he's still putting a lot of work on his tier 1 towers. Run Ultimate doesn't accomplish anything as they're not able to find any initiations or what have you. Smash, I think he's been spotted out by this ward at one point or another, so they should know that the Death Prophet is juking through these little trees as he pops his face up to drop a Crypt Swarm. Ancient Apparition up top. Yep.
We're gonna have a fight here. Windrunner is already coming back, but there's the Jakiro from the side, but the Jakiro is heading away from it and the Ogre is going in. I don't understand, because together they would have gotten an easy Ancient Apparition kill as well as the Windrunner, but Windrunner just TPing out it. And yeah, Ancient Apparition doing the same. And it also comes back to what you already said, the Ice Path would not be there. So if they didn't have enough damage over time, we might have even see the Ancient Aberration just TPing out because no Ice Path for a second interrupt.
ACC going to be missed by that Ancient Apparition Ice Box. I don't think it would have killed him straight up. It's only level 1. But either way, it would have put some fear into ACC and would have forced him back to base at the very least. Yeah, Faceless Void has been left alone for quite a long time after the early kills onto him, and he's been farming up decently well, although hasn't progressed any further than the Mask of Madness. Puck's Blink Dagger, we haven't really seen it come to fruition, but he does have that available to him. And yeah, I think that about sums up the item pickups. The Orchid coming out from the Nature's Prophet is going to be there fairly soon, as he almost has that all the way done. And once he does, the Mirana, Puck, Jakiro, Viper, everybody on the side of INTZ is going to be dropping incredibly fast, especially if they're able to combo that with any other hero. Nature's Prophet can still look for solo kills.
Yep. What I'm surprised so far is that the fact that like both teams are not very eager to use their ultimates. I mean, we have most of the heroes like being way beyond level 6. Obviously, we saw some ultimates already in action. I mean, we saw 2 Dream Coils, 1 Chrono, actually 2 Chronos by now. But yeah, I'm still, I don't know. Like I think we should see more action out of this. Like that Chronosphere is off cooldown so long, but he rather keeps on farming. Even though I think with just any combination, Chronosphere, Ice Blast, that's like a given. It's like a constant in this game. It will most likely happen all the time. And then any damage, I mean right click damage anyway, but let's say a power shot or a Crypt Swarm, and that should be a kill, and that doesn't even consider Nature's Wrath on top of it. So I really think they should use it on cooldown just because it's a guaranteed kill. But talking about guaranteed kills, maybe with that Mirana ultimate they can make something happening here, but not today. They're already running for their lives. They know this is coming.
I'm not sure where they spotted it out. I assume it's this ward fairly deep in the dire mid lane that spotted out, I believe, Dudu, getting invised up, and they're not able to find anybody, although they are smoked up. Ogre running towards mid. Ancient Apparition is also not going to be there as he rotates up towards top, and I think this rotation is not going to be fruitful for them. Yeah, Smoke's going to wear up, or maybe Death Prophet's going to bump into it. I don't think they can go for this, but they're going to try. Dump multicast onto the Death Prophet as well as the arrow falling through. They do have enough burst, but the Jakiro is going to fall. So Dream Coil is committed on the backlines to Misoku, but he'll just straight up TP. There's nothing they can do to stop it. 1 for 1 is the trade. Without the multicast, it would have been a harder kill, but in the end, they had enough backup to kill that DP regardless.
To be honest, considering that Jakiro did so bad in this game so far, was just only used majorly for pushing. But I mean, his farm, his level compared to the Death Prophet is lower, obviously. So I think this was even a better trade for INTZ. Like, in my opinion, that was just a better trade. But look at this, what Windrunner is doing. Ultimate skilled at level 9. Now focus fire, Windrun up, Cliff being used, but oh my god, this arrow! Oh my god, what are they doing? The longest arrow of Mirana's life there, and Windrunner just did not react. I don't know where he was looking on his screen, but it was definitely not the arrow trajectory, and he just eats it like a man. But the problem is he died like a woman.
This is problematic for the Wind Ranger. It's interesting to see ultimate at level 9. I think it's completely acceptable, especially if you're able to get those tier 1 towers down. But then again, it just got Wind Ranger her life, so maybe it would have been better if she didn't go for it. The smoke is on the career up in top, but we are going to see Nature's Prophet gone on by the fucking company, but they silence up Fuzzy. Fuzzy's going to be brought down. Mihawk TP away. He's going to be safe as the TP towards that tier 2 is cancelled.
Wow, that was interesting. That first I thought it was just harass, but then apparently the puck really wanted to go for it, but with the Ancient Aberration behind the tree saying hello, surprise party, and then yeah, he went down. But even without Ancient Aberration, I think the Nature's Prophet had it. Like, that silence, that was completely unexpected for Mr. Puck, so nice, yeah, nice item choice, fast Orchid on the Nature's Prophet, and that's pretty much it. We have the tier 2 going down in the mid by the Death Prophet, and even with the residual exorcism, he's going for the top tower, so overall objective damage way higher by NoT today. I already said that in the draft. So that's the problem of INTZ, they can't really compete. So in the end, they trade a tier 2 tower, which might get even denied here by that Windrunner. So I don't really know if that's all worth it.
Not sure if they're going to be able to deny it if Viper gets the last hit. Let's see. Will not. Just a little late on the trigger for the Wind Ranger. But they get the tier 2 up top. It's still a 1-for-1 tower trade, and 2 towers still stand on either side, but more tier 2s going the way of NoT today. That tier 1 tower down in bottom is not long for this world. Only at 500 HP. Should be fairly easy for them to snag. Faces Void now with the Maelstrom is going to be hitting pretty darn hard. Ewo just hasn't done much this game. Hopefully this item choice, or item pickup, is going to change things. Yule Scepter and the Jakiro might make things a little bit more problematic for him, as the Yule Scepter is going to delay his impact. If he just Yules the Faces Void whenever he's going on somebody inside the Chronosphere, it can stop a lot of his uptime for his auto attacks.
Yeah, and if I summarize this game so far, I mean, 20 minutes in, I mean, it looks fairly equal when we look at towers, when we look at the kill score, but then again, I have to say, like, that 2 kills definitely... Oh, maybe we have a go on the Void, but no, he turned around. Was that a chrono attempt? Oh, there is Masoko, but Fuzzy's not really doing anything. He's distracted by the Ancients, so I can come back to my original topic. Like, if you really count everything, 2 kills were really big mistakes by NoT today. Just negligence, not focus, but oh, bottom. We need a slow, a stun, anything. There is a Yule Scepter, there is a TP score. He's trying to, is there an arrow? He doesn't attempt the arrow. He does not attempt the arrow. Because...
He shot it earlier.
Oh!
It was on cooldown.
I didn't even see that the arrow was on cooldown. I didn't see the first arrow. Where did that land?
It was super wide. He was expecting him to juke down towards bottom, like this thing.
Ice Blast Chrono. Easiest kill of his life there. That was really an easy setup.
Yep. And now the Jakiro is also going to fall in mid. He Yules up the Death Prophet, but that helps her more than anything. Exorcism used for it isn't the worst trade for the Jakiro, but still 2 kills around the map going to the way of NoT today. I think the biggest win for NoT today is their farming efficiency on their 3 cores is quite a bit higher than that of INTZ. The Viper's still farming well, but the fucking Jakiro aren't. And if you compare that to the likes of Nature's Prophet as well as the Death Prophet, they're just getting a little bit more. Dude's going to need a Crypt Storm down in bottom. The tier 1 tower is almost certainly going to fall. Though Exorcism wears off, they have Mystico with his ultimate to chip away at it. He's going to use Windrun incredibly late, and they won't actually go for it. If there was 1 more second on Exorcism, that's a dead tower. But they'll be able to take it quickly enough anyway.
Yeah, they really wanted that tier 1 tower. Like, it's the second time they go for it, even the Windrunner ultimate use, but at least this tower is still alive. Everything else is already down in the top and the mid lane at the moment for INTZ, and they used the Mirana ultimate. This time they should not be spotted. There has been a blink, but I think they might go for Smash, but Smash are just TPing out. They suspect something happening. Windrunner's also too far away and still has Windrun if he needs to. Then again, of course, Chikiro with an Ice Path, Fuzzy, if they get vision, that arrow might have scouted it, but it's night. Oh god, it's nighttime. Fuzzy didn't see it apparently. That's too bad. That was an easy kill. That was a very easy kill. Blink,
I'm
Waning Rift, for example.
Yeah. I think the ward in the dire high ground spot near Roshan actually spotted out that smoke, or rather Mirana ultimate. Yeah,
could be. Yeah, pretty much. It should give vision. Yeah, around here. Someone was definitely standing here in that area. So yeah, this ward, it is definitely nice. Wait, we can actually check this. Like this is dire vision. Yep. Yeah, it definitely gives nice vision. So yeah, that's pretty much the key. Vision is always key. We saw that even in the last game that, like, for example, Union Gaming, they didn't bother with dewarding at all. The only time they dewarded when they conquered a gem. And Isoros really had, like, they knew about every single step, and you noticed that in that game. Like, were barely any ganks because the tactic was just to feed a Naga so fat that they win a game, and they had like a good try even against Mega Creeps. Still, the problem is on INTZ we don't have a Terror Plate, a Spectre, a Anti-Mage, or a Naga, something that really can just solo carry a game through plus split push. We just don't have this, so INTZ they have to make the plays, capitalize on it, push, and that's just not happening at the moment. The plays are coming out by NoT today, and they also capitalize on it.
Yeah. And it's going to continue to be a problem. This Viper is building for more utility and tank than he is for damage. You might build Viper for damage. It's not the conventional build, but honestly, this game, I think it would have been better. The Aghanim Scepter is going to be nice, but maybe you throw the Mechanism Burden towards somebody else. The Jakiro, if he's actually able to get that farm, which he would have gotten at a decent time, to be fair, in place of that Yule Scepter as well as the Urn of Shadows. Mirana also not going to be transitioning into a carry for a long time, and even if she does as a carry, Mirana needs to be an item or two ahead of the enemy heroes, and that's never going to be the case, because we're almost going to get a Scythe on the Nature's Prophet, or rather, 3k gold or thereabouts before we have the Scythe and the Nature's Prophet. Then you have a Faceless Void that has okay farm, and a Death Prophet that's farming very well with BKB as well as Yules. Ancient Apparition is going to... Okay.
Rush.
Yeah. It almost psyched me out. The Oblivion Staff and the Courier is for Wind Ranger instead.
That's
She's currently in
orchid.
base.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah.
So if we count this all together, we have 2 silences, because Orchid number 1 on the Nature's Prophet, Orchid number 2 on the Windrunner. We have, of course, the Big Fat Ice Blast. I mean, it's not CC as such, unless you really count, like, denied HP regeneration as some sort of CC, but no. But we have the Chronosphere. We have a 3rd silence now here by Death Prophet, and you said it already, we might see Nature's Prophet with a Hex. That's another CC, and maybe here and there a Cold Feet proc, but the problem is he didn't even skill the Cold Feet yet. Like, he went for the 4 points in the Vortex and of course Chilling Touch. So let's see where this one is going. I think at level 12 he will pick up the first point in Cold Feet. The next point will go maybe stats Ice Blast and then Cold Feet, or maybe he puts 1 point in there before, let's see. But he can get a proc if proper timed on a target that is in a chrono and is not focused, so you get like a follow-up stun directly after the chrono. That's how I imagine it.
Or even the Yules on the Death Prophet's pretty good for setting up. Honestly, I think Ancient Apparition could have probably gone for more
forgot
points
to mention that even. Like the Yule
Yeah.
Scepter, yeah, we have the Yule Scepter as well. And that's why I also don't understand, like, for example, the item on the Jakira. I mean, I like to have at least 1 Yules in the team, but for this specific game here, the Yules is not really helping. That's the problem. That Void is gonna go for a BKB, I'm pretty sure, very soon. Like, he's gonna replace that Pullmans with Casual Orca Club, then going directly into BKB, so he can't be Ice Path, stunned, arrowed, or, like, for that matter, even like Yule Sceptered in the Chronosphere. But that's pretty much it. That's all you have the Yule Scepter at the moment for. Yule Scepter on the other targets, it rather helps. Well, against the Windrunner, I guess it would be nice. When Windrun is on, you use him. When he's back, he's vulnerable. That's something that could happen. But, well, let's see where this is going. I mean, so far the game is still equal. Like, we should not put it all on NoT today's side. But yeah, the problem is, we said it already in the draft, and INTZ after that good start. They just didn't find the good follow-up.
Equals a little bit of a stretch. If you take a look at the graphs, it's currently 7,500 gold advantage towards Not Today, which is pretty significant. Experience is about the same. It's a little bit skewed because of this pause. It's going to be extending the graph out even while we're paused. But either way, they are still leading. And even if the graphs are completely zero, I still like Not Today's chances a lot better. So yeah, I think that kind of puts it in perspective. Let's see, we do have Ready and Go coming up from both sides, so the pause is going to subside as we are now finally back into the game.
Yep, let's see, Smash wants that tower still, he really wants that tower. Deny attempt by Fuzzy and he gets it. So yeah, well played by Mr. Puck here. He gets that one at least. And top, oh, we have Deeks. And there's a Void, I don't know, it's nighttime and he actually managed to get out here. It's unbelievable. That would have been such an easy kill. Chronosphere on him, right clicks by 2 heroes. But yeah, lucky Orca. And we have an invisibility rune on the Puck. And he has everything ready, everything he needs. The funny thing is, he also goes for a Yule. So this is our second Yules. I just don't like it. But let's see where this is going. For now, he's on the hunt. He wants to find something. Something he can blow up on his own. Or something where he maybe finds something with a team setup. The Void would be a target if the Mirana is around.
I don't know. Yule Scepter is kind of like a poor man's scythe device you can set up for arrows on your team and just delay Faceless Void by throwing him up in the air, but then again, I don't like it either. It doesn't scale incredibly well, and you could inadvertently set yourself up for an arrow or a cold feed or something along those lines, maybe a shackle even. But yeah, we'll see. Yeah, Mystico up top is currently made a little bit of a path for himself behind the trees. I have no idea what his plan is here, but he's there. As we're going to see the Puck soloed up by the Nature's Prophet with a little help from the Ancient Apparition.
He died so fast. He died so fast. That was Ice Blast, Chilling Touch, right clicks with the Orchid. Whoa, that one was really, really fast. Too fast to cast. Like, he was alive, next second he was dead. That's the good thing about a fast Orchid on a Puck who still doesn't offer like more than 800 HP or so.
Yeah, definitely. I think the Nature's Wrath landed as well, and it was just not a happy place to be. A Puck died in no time flat. The split pushing is currently coming out from Not Today. Ewo as well as Wind Ranger pushing up top.
They want to get the Shakira and Smash. He has the Yule Scepter, putting him in place. There's the Sprout, if well timed, maybe on him. No, actually the Sprout is on cooler. He's trying to TP out, and that's the funny part. If you set up the Yules first, then you can just TP out. That's of course bad news. They needed the Sprout, and then when he tries to TP, getting him. So this way, no casualties, even Mirana ultimate being used. And I think they didn't even have vision. If the Mirana ultimate would have been through, no, there's no vision on either of those heroes. So, no, good one by INTZ.
Yeah, it really was. Just a little bit of miscue coming up from Not Today, or maybe Smash thinking he couldn't catch up with the Sprout. Either way, there's going to be Yules turned onto the Death Prophet fall for the Ice Path, but nobody else is here. Macropar even committed. That does not that much to Smash. The Liquid Fire is actually doing the most damage. Now with the TP in from Nature's Prophet, Zono might just die a second time. He does have a way to cancel this, and they get the Chronosphere now on the Deeks as well, just being bashed down by the Maelstrom, and as well as the Mask of Mana. Nature Apparition ultimate flies through, not even needed for those 2 kills.
Yeah, like, if that all wasn't enough, the Ice Blast came after all the action already subsided. That's like really bad news. The cliff is getting popped, but this tower, it is gone. There's the arrow flying, it's not gonna hit on anything. Fuzzy actually jumping in, but the BKB keeping him alive, and that exorcism is gonna end in just some second. He's gonna get healed up, but it does perfect fucking timing by NoT. This is unbelievable. Smash really playing it out, but at the moment he's just buying time. He's trying to TP out. It's not gonna be enough, but he at least stole enough time of INTZ to get all the other heroes to safety. That was timing, man.
Yeah, it really was. On top of it, they get the Dire Courier as well as the tier 2 tower. Even though they lose their Death Prophet, it's still pretty good. Yep, Wind Ranger is getting focused down, trying to man fight up against Mirana, almost getting that kill, but the Fire Blast as well as backup from the Puck will make sure that that's not the case. That was just a straight up pick off.
I mean, there was a lot used for that single Windrunner kill. I mean, even a Dreamcore and whatnot, but oh well. They lost the Courier as well. I don't know where it got scouted. I guess around the secret shop somewhere, but I didn't see. Was there something huge inside? I was distracted by that fight.
Ooh.
No.
I don't know. Yeah.
We didn't see, but we will know as soon as that courier respawns. It's gonna respawn in about 1 minute and 40, but of course it hurts. Like, Viper is now on the way for a BKB. Yeah, that the casual Orca Club is already there. So let's see when he's gonna finish that. But the problem is you still have a chrono, so that chrono might just land on you, and that's not really anything you can do. So they're desperately trying to farm, but the problem is each and everywhere you have someone farming. We have Smash pushing out completely the lanes, farming the jungle properly if it goes beyond the river line. We have top the Faceless Void just farming jungle plus lanes in the mid. Mihawk is pushing it out. It's just they have a better map presence at the moment, and they're just gonna keep on going on like this.
Yeah. It's going to be pretty smooth sailing for NoT today. They're going to really have to mess things up in order to lose a fight. Losing a Death Prophet and Wind Ranger there isn't great, but then again, it's not awful either. Death Prophet's still getting pretty close towards their next item. Shiva's Guard is not too far away. Only a couple of minutes, so she has the farm for that one. Power Shot used to clear a couple of trees. There is a dire ward that I think spotted off the Faceless Void as well as Wind Ranger up towards top. But yeah, they can't really do much, especially now that they have a Scythe of Ice and the Nature's Prophet. Blink Scythe Orchid Initiation is going to be something they have to be very afraid of. You can Orchid up the pocket and Scythe another target and pretty much guarantee that you kill both of them if there's anybody else to follow that.
Oh, they want to go bottom. They want to get the Viper here. Nature's Prophet behind, blinking in. There's the Hex, Silence, Sprout. Do they have vision this time? No vision. I can't even believe it, but never mind. Never mind that. Either the fate time was too long of the Mirana ultimate, or do I miss something? No, they don't have vision. Doesn't even matter, but they want to go on a Death Prophet. This time they might actually burst him down. Yule Scepter can be used now on a BKB, and the right clicks are just not enough. Now they're all following an Exorcism in the meantime. Another Yule Scepter, but this helps him rather. Like, he's getting healed up again. Perfect timing. He's buying all the time in the world. Mihawk is actually coming in. Another Yule Scepter on him, and I think this time he's gonna die. Oh, that Ice Blast! It's gonna hurt, but Fuzzy, perfect. He's just zoning out, and Mihawk, he's gonna die. Nothing they can do, but top. Range Rex, Melee Rex is down, as well as the tier 3 tower, obviously before. Now, Windrunner, yeah, with that ultimate, does he die in the fountain? One more tick.
Yes.
Yes.
Still space created. 3 deaths at this point in the game for getting a melee barracks, especially when the enemy team can't push any of their lanes, as all of them are at their front door, more or less, where the tier 2 towers were. It's still completely acceptable, despite giving a large swing in gold. It's only one last team fight.
Click on top. There's the Chronosphere. The Ice Blast is already flying, and now let's see if that's enough damage. There will be a stun of the Ogre. Yes, that's the stun, but Viper, you're really, really low. I don't know. No procs of that Mjolnir is too bad, obviously. INTZ Viper here is gonna make it out and survive. What Ice Blast is that? That was actually a level 2. In the meantime, look, Jakiro, they wanna go for revenge on that Ancient Imperation. They were like, hey, you wanna kill our Viper? We kill you. Trying to deny himself there.
Attack speed slows too much.
Yep.
Yeah, it's going to be a full team wipe, all said and done, but now the Yulza and the Jakiro, they can't go on mid. Fuzzy's also here, or Fuzzy, excuse me. They're now going to Sono. Sono's taking too much damage from the wide clicks of these 2 heroes, and they'll be able to get him the puck silenced up. Not going to get the vision with the Sprout, and he's juking towards the south. I think Fuzzy's going to be able to escape here. Throws the Allure back into the Nature's Prophet as he throws the Silence to clear out the creeps with the Shackle. Latches! Maximum range. That Shackle range change is actually ridiculous.
No, it's not even about the Shackle. This is the power of a second Orchid. Like, I mean...
Yeah.
This puck, he was like, okay, sure, oh, Mihawk, he's getting, attacked by the Viper, but this is not gonna be enough damage. No, he's gonna be fine, but still, like, he was counting, he was doing well, like a proper pro player. He was like, okay, Hex is out, Yule Scepter is out, Orchid is out, but what he never expected is that Windrunner is coming from low ground and giving him the 5th CC of some sort that will eventually kill him. Like, in theory, he could have even gone through that tier 2 tower, just heading north and getting the hell out of there. But no. Second Orchid, unexpected, easy kill, and we're gonna see the first Roshan this game.
Yeah, and it's going to go into the hands of NoT today with the Permabash coming up from Faceless Void. They go up to the high ground, they find themselves Deeks. Deeks is dead, and while the vision on the high ground is going to cost the Ogre his life. They are going to sentry that and deward it from inside the Roshan pit, as now they clean up the Roshan, as he was going to get back in the pit, securing himself an Aegis. It isn't going to be immediately into the BKB coming out from Ewo, but he's going to have that done in about 1,300 gold on top of this. So yeah, NoT today are still looking really strong, despite the kill score being more or less even. They've made themselves about a 12,000 gold lead, and experience, although a little bit more moderate and only 2,500, is still in their favor.
Still, like this ward there near Roshan on that like little hill, it's done. Yeah, it has done so much for NoT here. NoT today spotted about 2 Moonlight Shadows out with it. They got kills on top of it. Now that the Ogre actually tried to do something, it's also kind of unfortunate that he's gonna ward or de-ward there exactly the second they go for Roshan. Obviously, I mean, you don't have vision inside the Rosh pit anymore, but you obviously still have vision all around it. So I definitely like this ward, because especially on the Radiant side, there's not really an equivalent for this ward anymore. So since this map became even more asymmetric in 6.82, like this ward is really essential and is of course something you can work against. But in the mid, there's a nice setup here on Smash, but Smash is popping the BKB. Remember, the BKB is quite a valuable item now. You should not pop it unless you really intend to use it, but he was like, no, it's too risky. 1 second down off the BKB instead of dying there.
Yep. It is going to be a little bit of split push coming out from them as TP comes away from the Shikiri. He tries to go up top. It's going to be cancelled by Chronosphere, clipping 2 of them. Deek's walking into it. The arrow comes through, lands on Ewo. The Yule Scepter going to keep the Jakiro alive as now they try to focus on Ewo. Ewo trying to lifesteal. He is going to be able to get the first kill, but he is going to fall, losing the Aegis simultaneously as Nature's Prophet is dying. Somewhere else up in the top as Dudu as well as Fuzzy are able to clean that one up. But still, 2-3 tower down in bottom, or will be down shortly, potentially. I don't know. Let's see. Yeah. It's going to be Nature's Prophet joining this fight against Fuzzy. Jumps in place instantly. Orchid Yules up the air is going to take that off of him, but his second Yules is going to shackle him to the tree now as Fuzzy's brought down. He can't do anything.
One lonely tree and it was a shackle. Now they're trying desperately to defend their base. 2 set of Raxes left, but all the tier 3s lost. I mean, 2 buybacks, so NoT is calling for retreat here, and I guess it's a wise decision, but still, like, I mean, they got the Aegis off and they got the kill on Nature's Prophet, and they obviously a buyback out of the Nature's Prophet, but equivalent to that, the Jakiro bought back and they lost the last Rax. Top, it wasn't an important Rax, obviously, it was just a range Rax, but I mean, it's better than still standing, so NoT, they will fall back, wait for the buyback, and I think they're gonna finish this game. And right now, I just don't see how INTZ is gonna counter it. They don't have enough counter push. They have just so much against them at the moment. All the CC and all the damage already done on the Rax. I mean, melee they're gonna heal up, but even the range Rax got quite some damage already. Mid, look at this, below 50%. One more Axe system, and this is at least one more Axe.
All of their tier 3 towers are down, their base is entirely exposed, and it feels like it's only a matter of time. Yeah, Scythe is the next item choice for the Puck, although it's nowhere close. And there's just nothing that's going to give them a big boost of power on any of these heroes. Viper's next item actually doesn't matter, even if he went for straight up damage. It's still going to be problematic for the Viper. He can't 1v5, he's no Medusa, he's no Gyrocopter. Top lane is already keeping 2 of their supports entirely occupied as they need to commit fully, and so the split push is sooner rather than later going to spell their demise. Like the power shots as well as the Faceless Void down in bottom, as well as the Death Prophet and Ancient Apparition in mid. There's very little that they can do to counteract this pressure.
Yep, and they send the treants and they send everything. Smash is look, Smash is just standing in the mid, right-clicking that range tracks. Right now they focus on permanent damage, which means they send also the trees actually to the range tracks. There's a nice Ice Blast, and oh, there's the chrono we are looking for, only on 1, but that's definitely the kill on Jakiro. He already used his buyback now. Oh, with the rest of the BKB, he wants to get that Ogre who still has the Ice Blast on it. Maybe now, yeah, there's the dust on the heroes that just received Moonlight Shadow, but still Smash with that Axe system. That's 1 more Axe down, so it's 1 to go. Shiva, so much damage. Ogre going down, Viper, Mirana, last defender, buyback on the Puck, but even if Smash is going down, right now he's focusing that Rax, and that is Mega Creeps. Is it? Right now, nobody's really focusing on it, but Void, he's gonna finish it, and that's it. Mega Creeps. And I think, no, INTZ can't defend it. Today we had 1 match where we had Mega Creeps and they were able to defend it and maybe even counter push, but this one is over just without even a crazy fight. This was just get the objectives done.
Okay, so the real question is how long is it going to take before we have the next game? So, yeah, I have no idea. Place your bets now. Could be 3 hours, so stick around. We might be in for a long one.
Yeah. My name is HeflaTV, casting with me, my sarcastic partner here. It is Mr. Granis, but he's right. We hope the next game is gonna be fast, but as I said, it's a new set of teams, which means they're gonna set up their PCs at the LAN in Brazil. And how long that is gonna take, that is a good question. Either way, I hope it's just gonna take like, I don't know, maximum 15 minutes or so. So we are back with the next game, and it is gonna be CNB versus Spain. A very interesting setup, to be honest, because both teams, they have a lot of things in common, both Brazilian and a lot of history in the background. Either way, we are back hopefully soon for the next game of the first round.